What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Seeking Sister Wife, Season 4, Episode 7. Let's get into the Epps family, which consists of Marcus, Taryn, and India. These are the people that are actually featured on the show. Come to find out, there's a whole gang load of people behind the scenes because someone in my comment section had said that Marcus has 10 children. And so I normally don't search stuff on the internet about the people that I'm watching on television because I don't want any spoilers. But I don't know what I think I was looking for their names. And I came across, an article about him and his 10 kids. And so I clicked on it. I read it. He has 10 children, and he said that his 10 kids are spread out all over the world. I don't know exactly how many baby mamas he has. And the article was really centered around why TLC has not brought this up as of yet on the show, that he has 10 children, because we were only introduced to the one child that he has with Taryn. And then he has another son that lives with him from another relationship. And then he has a son's best friend that lives with them. But they don't talk at all about the 10 kids. And I don't understand why. So this man, I don't understand. Like he needs to market and sell his time management skills, because I don't know how he has time to deal with the family that he has in that home. I think they live in Florida with Taryn and India and the 3 children that live in that home. Then he has another home, I think in Ohio, where he's a council member or a councilman in Ohio. Then he's got these 10 children, which he says are spread all over the world. Then he also is dating, that we know of, Bina. Now he's introduced another woman to us that he's going to be dating, and her name is Janae. Now he tells us that he met Janae after he separated from Taryn, but before he met India. I originally thought that the time between his separation from Taryn and before meeting India, I thought that the time gap was very short, but evidently it was very long because he had time to squeeze in Janae. So he's still dating Bina. He wants to start dating Janae, who he met between Taryn and India. And he's going to fly her down from wherever she lives, wherever she's from. He's going to fly her down for a date. India is not comfortable at all with Marcus dating Janae. Because, she's got her rules, her boundaries, her regulations of what he can and cannot do. So she wants to keep a very tight leash on him while he's out courting Janae. Janae doesn't know about Marcus's plural family lifestyle. He says that he also said that he never even had a chance to go out on a date with Janae. So I'm thinking it was just a physical thing, just like a physical interaction, and that was it. He says that he never had a proper date with her. Then they start talking about, the 2 wives bring up decorations. I don't know in what context it was, but something about, I think he's going to get like a home. He's going to rent like an Airbnb for him and Janae. And the women were talking about how was he going to decorate the Airbnb. I don't know. Something came up about decorations. And so he said that, yeah, maybe I'll put some rose petals on the bed. And India flipped out and she was like, the thought of even going into a bedroom should not even occur to you, because y'all will not be going into any kind of bedroom. So there's no need to put rose petals on any kind of bed. And so then Marcus and India are kind of going back and forth on his freedom to do whatever he wants on his date and her insecurities. And so she keeps talking about her excuses, the reason why you need boundaries, because whenever she talks about boundaries and limitations on what he can and cannot do on his dates, someone will bring up, but when I was dating you, we did whatever. We stayed out all night, we slept together, we did all kinds of stuff. And India's excuse is that, but when you were dating me, you had no others. You and Taryn had broken up. You were not in a relationship with anybody else. So the difference now is that you have 2 wives at home. You have wives, you have children. So you can't just be philandering out there like you're a single man. So yes, you do have boundaries and you do have limitations. So this is where it gets kind of gray with this whole plural lifestyle. Because on the one hand, he has to find more wives. And so he has to go out there and he has to date as if he's a single man. But on the other hand, he has a commitment to the wives that he already has. So it's like, the women and him, or him and India, because it seems like Taryn really doesn't care. Him and India really need to have an understanding of what this really all entails, because for him to bring in other wives, he has to date them as if he's single. But I think that Marcus can date these women and do whatever with these women that he's courting, but still be respectful to Taryn and India. I don't. I'm not like. Sometimes I wonder, India, are you even really like made for this type of lifestyle? And you would think that she is, because she's the second wife. She's not the first wife who had to get accustomed to a plural lifestyle. She was the second wife who came into a plural lifestyle. So, but then she acts as if she just can't take the fact of him being with other women. But when you met him, he at some point he went back to his wife and he was still seeing you. So you're used to the concept of him being with another woman. So Marcus says he does not want to be held to a monogamous man's standard because he's a polygamist. In his confessional, he says that India watching me fall in love with someone else, it's not easy. And if it's not easy, then she's not cut for this lifestyle at all. If she can't deal with him falling in love with another woman. So India talks to Marcus like he's a child, like the way she says you have a curfew, you have to be home by a certain time. When you're on your date, you can't touch her, you can't look at her, you can't talk to her, you can't sleep with her, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, girl, this is a grown man who it looks like he's taking care of his responsibilities. You can't put restrictions and rules on him. So India does not want the new person to live with them right away. And Taryn felt the same way. And I'm not understanding what that was all about, because I don't think that they would move in someone right away. I think that they would move in someone when there's a consensus from all three parties that, okay, this person is ready now to become a part of our family. India also suggests that one of the wives should move out if a new one moves in. So basically what she's saying is that if he were to move in a new wife, most likely she's going to be moving out. So this triggers Marcus, because India had made this threat before that she was going to move out before if he was going to move in a new wife. So he takes her to the side and he has a one-on-one conversation with her, and he tells her the option of you moving out, or the thought of you moving out, will never be an option for me, because you're a part of this family, you're a part of this household. He says if it comes down to it, the only other option would be that I wouldn't date anyone else. Not that you would move out if I move someone else in. You know, I would give up dating someone else just to keep you. And he's like, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm talking about? And she's like, received. I kind of felt like she wanted to say, received, daddy. Because all of a sudden, when he put that authoritative tone in his voice, she backed all the way down. This wasn't the same woman in the kitchen who was telling him, well, you can't do this and you can't do that and don't go in the bedroom and don't buy any rose petals. She was like a completely different person. It was like all of a sudden she was very passive. And you know, he put that bass in his voice, and he was like, you understand, I will never, you know, you will never leave this house and you're part of this family, and my other option would be to not date someone else, but you're going to stay in this family. Do you understand me? And she was like, received. It was received a long time ago. And then he gave her a kiss, and it was like she was all better now. So I don't know if she likes to test her boundaries with him to prove, so that she can reassure herself that, okay, he still has feelings for me. He still wants me. He still desires me. Still have a very secure spot in his life. I don't know if that's what she's doing whenever she tries to challenge him on how he can relate with other women, or how he can build relationships with other women, or if, you know, the fact that he got that authoritative with her was maybe kind of like a turn on for her, you know, and that's why these women stay, because he's got this like very dominant side of him where, look, I'm so confused. I need to know, what is it about Marcus? I'm not saying that he's the worst looking man in the world. He's obviously not. But what is it about Marcus that has these women are beautiful women. These women are absolutely gorgeous. Taryn and India and Bina and Janae. These women are drop dead gorgeous women. And here you have this, you know, short, small in stature, bald man. And he can just pull these gorgeous women and make them accept a polygamous lifestyle, allow him to date and philander and do all kinds of stuff with other women, and he can still come home to them and they're still going to be there waiting for him. And in fact, they're helping him plan dates with other women. Like when he went out on the date with Bina, they planned that whole entire date. They did the food, the wine, the charcuterie boards, the picnic basket, all of that. Marcus, if you could write a book on how you are pulling women like this and living a polygamous lifestyle, especially with African American women. Now, some might say that, in a lot of African cultures, there's, of course, there was a lot of polygamy going on. When you think about the tribes and stuff like that, that was happening in African countries. And also, so there's a history of this with our culture, with Black people. But the modern day African American, maybe the modern day African American person is into polygamy. When you think about the number of children that a lot of people have with a whole bunch of other people, maybe we are living polygamous lifestyles, but we just don't know it. I don't know. But if Marcus could write a book about how he is pulling beautiful, gorgeous women and he is making them, or he is selling polygamy to them, and they're buying it hook, line, and sinker, he'll make a lot of damn money, because when he's just not your typical, stereotypical, fine, gorgeous kind of guy, but he is pulling in these beautiful model looking women, and it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing to watch this man in action. So I don't know how she's going to feel. I don't know if this conversation that she had with Marcus, if it's going to change her opinion about him dating Janae, and if it's going to make her loosen up her grip on Marcus. Only time will tell. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And we'll see how that goes. So moving on to the Davis family. So the Davis family consists of Nick, April, and Jennifer, and they're dating a potential third wife by the name of Danielle. So they're on their little weekend getaway, and I think this is the second night. So far, Nick says that everything is going really well. Like I said, Nick is always happy. Because he found the secret to satisfy his huge drive, his huge libido. He has found the secret, which is to have a whole bunch of women around you at all times, to keep you satisfied. So he's always happy because, whenever he wants it, he can get it. So no one's ever too tired. He says everything is going great. He's happy. He's pleased. Once again, he has a big old smile on his face. And so the second night is going to be Danielle's night with Nick. So Nick, he pulls Danielle to the side to have a private conversation with her. And he tells her that if they should find a fourth wife, the plan is for Danielle to marry that fourth wife, because that's what he does. This is another guy. Like, he does this Jedi mind trick on these women where it makes sense to them to marry each other. They're okay with not marrying him. And I know that he has to have some type of ulterior motive as far as why he's not marrying these women. Now, he does use this excuse of, because he can't marry more than one woman, he doesn't want one woman to have like more of a hierarchy than the other women, because that's going to be his official legal wife. That might put her above everyone else, or it might make the others feel that the legal wife is above everybody else, has a better spot or a higher spot. And he doesn't want to ensue any feelings of jealousy if he's able to marry one woman, but he can't marry the others. So the solution is for the women to marry each other, so that there can be some type of a legality there, some type of a legal commitment there. And then they change their last names to his. So this is like, once again, so you're able to have a whole bunch of women. You don't have to marry any of them. So you don't even have to have a legal wife. You have all of your fun. You're having your cake and you're eating it too. And like, if you could write a book on how to sell this to other men, you'd make $1 million, Nick. So Danielle is sort of kind of like not really feeling the idea of marrying another woman for some type of legal reason. she's not really feeling that, because to her, I think what she was trying to say, and I don't quite know if I'm right, is that for her, marriage is important. And so she's going to marry someone. She wants to marry someone that she's head over heels in love with. So she would rather marry Nick than marry, some person just for the sake of marrying them. I don't even really understand why they would have to get married. They can just live together without marriage. I don't understand how marriage is benefiting anything other than, like they said, just to have some type of like a legal commitment in some form or fashion. I don't understand how it benefits anyone for the women to marry each other. But anyway, so it didn't seem like she was too comfortable with that. You could tell from her facial expression as he was telling her. So we'll see if she's going to do it, because Nick also has got some type of a hold on these women. He's a lot of fun. He smiles a lot. He laughs a lot. But sometimes when it gets down to business, he knows how to get serious with them, and he knows how to make them do what he wants them to do. So we'll see if Danielle is going to fall for the okie doke about marrying the fourth wife, if there is one. So Jennifer says in her confessional that Nick does a really good job in spreading himself equally amongst all the women. And there's a scene where they're all in the hot tub, and he is very affectionate with all of them. It's not like he favors one over the other. He tries to give all of them a little bit of himself. So Nick asked Danielle if she would be okay if, like, in the middle of the night, like if it was her night, which this night is going to be her night, if she's okay with him slipping away in the middle of the night to go be with another wife. And what did she say? I don't think she said that she was okay with it as long as you don't wake me up. But I don't think in her heart she was okay with that. I mean, like, what? Why would Nick, why would you feel like you have to do that? Like, because you're that insatiable? Like, you could be with one wife one night, or one woman one night, do all the stuff that you need to do with her, but then in the middle of the night, you're still needing more. And so the one that you're with is knocked out because, you wore her completely out, broke her back in 3 different places. And so now you gotta go get more. So then you're going to go wake up another wife. Nick, my God. And then he wants a fourth. Unbelievable. Insatiable Nick. So they're in the hot tub. All of them are in the hot tub. They're having fun, whatever. He's kissing up and loving up on all of them. And then at some point, April and Jennifer, they get out of the tub to give Nick and Danielle their privacy. So Nick is a very happy camper. He's an extremely happy camper. Truth be told, well, he's a happy camper. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on to the Merrifield family. So the Merrifield family, these people are interesting. Oh my God. The whole cast is interesting. The Merrifield family, they're checking on the progress of the home that they're building, because they're building a bigger and better home to accommodate their plural lifestyle. So Danielle's parents are with them. Her mom and dad are with them as they're doing like this walkthrough of the home. So they talk about what bedroom is going to belong to who. So I think Garrick is going to have his own master bedroom, or his own bedroom, and then Roberta and Danielle are going to have their own master bedroom. Okay, so I think that's what they said. I'm not sure, but I think that's what they said. And so then they're telling the parents that they had to put extra insulation in the walls so that, sound doesn't travel. So one wife won't hear Garrick with another wife in his room. And so they're talking about their, intimate life with Danielle's parents. And I was just like, wow, this is like cringy on a whole nother level. They're talking about, sounds traveling. They're talking about, who he's going to be when he wants to do whatever he wants to do with whoever, how the logistics of how all of that is going to work out. And I'm just like, how can you talk about this? Even though they're all grown, they have children, so the parents know the what's up. I was like, how could you talk about this with your parents, especially in the context of a plural marriage or plural lifestyle? well. When you're talking about, how he's going to be spending time with this wife and that wife. And when he's with this wife, the other wife is going to be in her own room. And, we had to put extra insulation in the walls so that we don't hear what's going on in Garrick's room. Danielle's mother says that when Garrick and Danielle first got married, they had a lot of issues in their marriage. They really struggled, I guess, because they were trying to get to know each other and they're trying to, make their marriage work or whatever. So there were a lot of issues in their marriage, evidently. So the mom is worried about now that we're adding more wives, it's going to be like the issues that Garrick and Danielle had in the beginning of their marriage, but it's going to be multiplied by 2 or 3 or however many. And so she's really worried about that dynamic and how her own daughter, Danielle, is going to deal with all of this, because it was hard enough with just the 2 of them, but now you're adding a 3rd person and maybe possibly a 4th person. So yeah, the mom seems like she's accepting of this, but she does have her concerns. So they partially move into this home, and Danielle and Roberta, like I said before, will have their own room. Garrick will have his own room. But right now, the communication with Roberta has been very sparse because of her dealing with her sick mother and her own issues back home. They haven't been able to talk to her as much as they want to. So they attempt to call her. She doesn't answer. And also, on top of all of this, is the added pressure of when she is supposed to go pick up her visa and her passport to travel. And she has like a very limited window of when she's supposed to do all of this stuff. So because she has so much going on at home with her family, they worry if she's going to be able to make that a priority to get the documents so that she can be able to travel to be with them. So we'll see how all of that works out. But they seemed really frustrated that they couldn't talk to her as much as they would like because she just has a lot going on. Roberta still has an entire life in Brazil that she has to tend to. So she just can't stop, drop and roll for them, whenever they want to talk to her and spend time with her. Moving on to the Jones family. This is Tasha and Sidian. So Sidian is in the Philippines to meet his potential second wife. Her name is Ariel. This is their second day together. They wake up the next morning. And of course, we have to hear about the obligatory night before shenanigans. So the producer asked Ariel, were you and Sidian intimate the night before? And she says, yes, we were very intimate. I'm like, girl, do tell. Not just intimate, but very intimate. Girl, what did y'all do? So for that particular day, their plan is to go to take a boat ride to a remote island. And so that's what they do. And, Ariel talks about how she's very attracted to Sidian. She's attracted to his whole nerdy persona. She says that he knows a lot. He's teaching her a lot, etc. Sidian, to me, the more I see him, because last year I didn't think this of him, or whenever it was on previous season, I really didn't think this of Sidian. But now that I'm seeing more and more of Sidian, there's something about him that's a little bit, tiny bit like underhanded or something. Not underhanded, but like he doesn't appear as innocent as he seems. That's what I'm trying to say, because he kind of comes off as like this very lovable, cute, quirky, nerdy guy, super tall, slender. He's just got this thing about him. He's got this cuteness about him, but he's kind of like, now that I'm seeing more of him, I'm like wondering if there's something brewing just beneath the surface. And I'm not quite sure what it is. So they're both really enjoying their time together. And they're both dreading the fact that all of this is going to be ending soon. Sidian asked Ariel, how does she know that this is going to be a good fit for her? And she said, because you and I get along so well, things are just very natural between us. And I have a very good relationship with Tasha. So yeah, I believe that this is really going to work out between us. And I hope that it does, so we can see this progress and move forward. I am ready for these new wives to like make a move and move in and make a decision. Are y'all going to commit or not? I'm tired of the dating and the courting. Are we going to be moving in or are we not going to be moving in? So yeah, I need them to kind of speed this along. So that is my review of Seeking Sister Wives. Thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, please subscribe and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.